Hey guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is rock guitar secrets, the high notes. What are we talking about? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification button, also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy with a free member account or a premium member account. So what are we talking about today? What makes rock guitar solos so iconic and so emotional? The quick answer is the high notes. All these players, let's take Steve Vai, Satriani, Petrucci, Eddie Van Halen, all these guys, the most outstanding thing in all of their solos, besides all the other things, is they all work towards the high notes. So you need to make a real close look to the high notes. I'll show you. Yeah, see, what makes those high notes so special, and how do you create this high intensity of emotions? That's what it's about today, so let's get started. Okay guys, this example is in C sharp minor, so we're using the C sharp minor scale. It will be this one here. But since we are talking about the high notes, we are focusing only on the top high strings, or basically only on the high E string. And the first thing you need to do, or you need to start working on, is to play the scale just on the high E string, which will be here. We're just playing, but we're just using the high E string, and especially in the high position. So from here, from this C sharp to the high C sharp, this is really essential. Okay, so that's the first thing. We're talking about sound settings, all that later, because we talk later about that. Okay, so now that's the first thing, and the high E string is really special because you can only bend or vibrate in one direction, because if you do in the other, you know that happens. Well, some guys are using this as an effect. You can also do that, but we're just trying to get really clean emotional high notes out of today's tutorial. So now, first thing is you need to learn to vibrate only in one direction and not losing the pitch. What did you notice? I worked up the scale, and the higher I got, the more intense the vibrato got. I even might have lost the pitch a little bit, but it didn't matter because the vibrato somehow got more emotional. You start soft. And the thing is, if you're on the high notes, if you just play like this, they don't sound. The thing which makes them sound really great is the vibrato. Yeah. Then the next thing you can do to make it sound more emotional is I'm gonna put on more distortion on. Is you start working with pinch harmonics, but now comes the trick. You don't put the maximum pinch harmonic. Where is it? Here. You don't go for the max pinch harmonics. It's just if you want to have more overtones on the tone itself, you just start to get into pinch harmonic position, you know? You start to put your hand down See how the more I got up, the more I turned the hand. And create more intensity also with the vibrato. Okay? So. And that takes some practice, and till you really get it, I mean, the point with the pinch harmonics is you just need to get the right spot here on the strings where you get the perfect pinch harmonics. It's always kind of a lottery, do they come or do they not come? I didn't make a warm-up today, I just came from my lunch, and so without warm-up, even I sometimes don't really get them right. So this topic is really a matter of practice and a matter of feeling comfortable. Yeah, good. The next thing, you can also make it reverse. Especially when you get into slight bendings, or here. Like if I do bendings, and then I prefer to use reverse pinch harmonics, or the reverse technique. So instead of going down, I go up. To create those overtones. So let's see how this works inside a track. And as I already said, sounds as I just switch off all effects now, and to create a really wide and emotional sound. As you can hear, there's a lot of delay on it. So if you don't control your tone, the delay is basically a multiplicator. If you play comes out, and that's the thing which always can make you nervous when you miss a pinch harmonic or stuff like that. And the worst thing which you can do on pinch harmonics is think that they don't come, or will they come now or will they not come. As soon as you start thinking if they come or not come, they won't come. As before I knew, I just came from lunch, I say, oh. The best thing, just go with the flow and see, this alone already really works pretty well, gives an extreme nice emotional touch to it. What is also cool, I mean, I just went out the scale now, up and down the scale now. That can work, but what also you need to figure out is the arpeggio. C minor arpeggio in this case. So you can make, big interval jumps. You jump from the root note till the fifth, to the triad, to the root. Also go down here to the root, fifth, root, fifth. I mean, if you just hit them like this and have your overtones done, you're gonna sound really cool. Switch on the delay again. Well, I mean, it's a personal taste, but if you want to have maximum emotions in your soloing, this is a method which really works. See, it really works. If you have big hands, as I have, many people say the guitar looks like a toy in my hands. Well, I'm 195 tall. In the high positions, I cannot use the pinky anymore. You know, it's like my fingers are too big. So also figure out different, different finger patterns. In the high positions, I basically use. I don't use the pinky anymore. You know, and you need to get a certain position of your finger. You know, to get the tone you want. Really go more for if you have big hands. If you have small hands, then there's no problem. You just continue playing up here as you like. But what is really different is the higher you get, and if you want to really have an emotional impact, the more vibrato you have to put in the notes. You know, and I was using a medium distortion. Now I'm gonna switch on a high gain distortion now, as you can hear, and then it's even more. See? And I played more than just the high notes. And what was the most highlighted thing? The high notes. That's what I'm saying. If you then add your stuff in the low positions, that's cool too. But you always work towards the high notes, okay? So whatever you do, first figure out how you get a really nice and emotional sound in the high positions, and then work out how you can work towards that. And that's upon your, your personal technical abilities. In rock, it's if you want to do the really crazy stuff, it's very technical, but it's not really needed. I mean, of course, if you can do it, it's cool. If not, you can just in the low position play like palm muters. Let me switch off the delay again. I just heard how much delay I use. But as I said, if you work with a lot of delay, you have to be really precise, because if sh goes in, sh comes out. Okay, see? So in the low positions, you work with palm. It doesn't really have to be so so extreme, but then you move towards the high position. Then you switch to the other technique. I show you with the backing track and with, let's take the medium distortion. And so on. As you saw, I mean, I did more stuff. Also a little sequence run. But what was really the thing which highlighted out of the whole solo were the high notes, and I just wanted to show how important the high notes are, because I've seen a lot of students, they want to noodle around with the low positions, and it doesn't sound. To say as extreme as possible, if you can only play the high notes, you will sound way better than the guy who plays stuff down here, maybe cool stuff, but cannot do the high notes. Yo guys, that was Rock Guitar Secret, the high notes or the high notes. What do we learn? I just learned don't do rock guitar tutorials directly after lunch without warm-up. Because it was a good, I will leave it that you see, you know, these pinch harmonics. That's really it has even a little philosophical aspect or even a spiritual aspect. When do the harmonics come, which you really want or which is needed? If you're into the playing flow, you know, they come like this, you know, and you know they come out of your guts. It's something which, from my personal view, you cannot really control. I mean, you can work on it and be aware there are different techniques, but then when what I do when I go to the high notes is I don't think so much about pinch harmonics. I mean, I know the technique, of course, but I think about intensity, you know, and just as I said, the higher up you get, the more vibrators, the more you work around with the pinch harmonic techniques and try to get these overtones out. And of course, it's a personal choice how extreme you want to do this technique, but from my point of view, the more extreme, the better. One more to say. And as I said, if you work, then if you then add your delay with a lot of, I always do 7 repeats. That will be 50% feedback and the mix level around 7% on the beat, on the quarter note. You can also do on the half note. If you want to have a really wide sound, then I do it on the half note. And if I want to have a wide sound, I do it depends on the speed of a song. One more to say. I'm gonna write a few ideas which I just showed as tabs. They're gonna be available in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy plus this really cool backing track. Please join there, become a free member, but in order to download the files you need to have a premium membership upgrade. And if you love my lessons, please do that anyway to support the work which me and Dr. Pink are doing for you guys. That's all I have to say. Social media. My only social media feed which I really do is the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. So me and Dr. Pink are signing off.